Hey guys, it's Mike here. I wanted to do a video where I talk about how to make a video like this, like how to start making videos and content. I think people think it's a lot harder than it actually is, and I think a lot of media organizations want you to think it's a lot harder than it is, but it's actually really easy. It's relatively cheap to make something that looks decent quality and sounds good as well and upload it. If you don't know me, I'm Mike, also known as Podcast Mike or Radio Mike. I spent most of my 20s working on some of the biggest podcasts and radio shows in the country. Now I have my own freelance media business. I have a blog, I have a YouTube channel, I have a second YouTube channel where I post videos like this, and I'm just all over the internet doing dumb stuff that I think is cool, to be honest. And basically, for a video like this, which I'll put on my second channel or on my LinkedIn as well, this is kind of like the lower end of the spectrum of making something. Like, this is the bare bones version of a setup that I would use, and it produces decent results. The first thing you want to do is get a point and shoot vlog style camera. You don't need a fancy camera. I think people get really scared off and think I need the most expensive of everything. You really don't. And that's a message that I try to drill through to people as much as possible. This idea that we are now so past the point of needing a multi-million-dollar studio or multi-million-dollar company behind us to start making content. It is so easy to do it yourself, right? And that's kind of my whole philosophy is make stuff yourself with the tools available to you at the time, or with a limited amount of money. So the camera I use is a point and shoot style vlog camera. It is a Sony ZV-1F. It shoots in 4K. It is really easy to use. You don't really need to worry about any camera settings. It just does an autofocus on the subject, and yeah, it's never caused me any issues ever, and it's so easy to set up. I literally just have it on my desk on a tripod. These videos are so makeshift, and the beauty of it is you can literally do a video or any kind of content anywhere. The next thing you need is a microphone. Now, there's a few ways you can go about this. I think a lot of people end up buying USB microphones. I know Rode has one. I know Blue Yeti have one. I'm going to be the one to spoil the fun and say that USB microphones are really bad. The quality is always worse than using this, which is XLR. It's just that it's a little bit cheaper because for USB, you don't really need an interface to go into your computer. So as much as USB mics are a cheaper option and better, they will always sound worse than XLR. I think that's just the truth. That's just my opinion. I will never use a USB mic. I've used them before and they suck. So I use this mic here. I have used this mic for everything I have ever recorded. It is a Rode M1 microphone. I've heard people be like, oh, those mics aren't good for podcasting. I've made every bit of content I've ever made with this microphone, and it's going pretty well from me. They just capture no room ambience. They just capture exactly what's in front of them. I really like them. And then basically this feeds into my Rodecaster Pro. That is an audio interface that basically allows me to record stuff. I also sometimes use it with my electric guitar. If I just want to record music or just listen to myself play without an amplifier, I can run this straight through the Rodecaster. So, make the most of the stuff you have. Now, the beauty of the Rodecaster is you can hook it up to the computer and connect it directly. So when I speak into this microphone, I am also seeing the sound waves go straight into my monitor, which is right there. I'm looking at it right now. And what that means is I don't need an SD card. I don't need to muck around with moving SD cards back and forth. This is always set up. And if I want to record, there's no friction. I literally just arm the truck to record and press record in my digital audio workspace. And then I'm recording. Bam, I'm filming and I'm recording, and it's super easy. Okay, then you need to edit the video and the audio. Now, you could, with this camera, actually put a microphone, like a shot microphone as an attachment to it and just record video and audio as one. For whatever reason, I've always just preferred having audio out of here and video. And then what I do is you need an editing software. I use Adobe Premiere Pro, which is pretty good, but I've heard great things about DaVinci Resolve, and I'm pretty sure that's free. And basically I drag the video and the audio into the Premiere timeline for something like this, and then I just sync the audio to the video. I then mute or just remove the old audio or the bad audio from the camera, so that now I just have the video and the good audio, and then I just make any cuts. Like if there's any pauses or anything like that, I just make cuts. And to be honest with you, and this is like maybe my new philosophy towards making content, I don't put a lot of time into editing a video like this, to be honest. Like I'm kind of going for more authenticity and just like doing it and getting it done, instead of like scrutinizing over the edit and trying to make everything as perfect as possible. Like I don't really think that's necessary anymore. And I think, again, like I'm definitely maybe like I sometimes call myself an anarchist in content world, because like I've worked in corporate where I know how slick and glossy it can sound, but I really think there's power in you as an individual deciding to just make stuff without having like the backing of a big company, right? Just make stuff for yourself, build your personal brand. I always liken it to like punk rock, you know, like punk rock was always about this DIY attitude, like do it yourself, get it done however you can, and like don't worry about having some commercial entity supporting you, just get it done. And a lot of the bands I grew up listening to were like these punk bands that really had that ethos around them that I've always really, really been influenced by. So I think it's about owning it, doing it yourself, and getting stuff done. You really, like everything I've just said is pretty much what you need. You genuinely do not need much more than that. But as you find that you need things, and as you find that you want to improve, like you might want to get like a light or something like that, right? Like you just like build up and get better as you go. The most important part is just starting. So yeah, that's my food for thought in this one, and I would love to know your thoughts as well, so drop them down below.